Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So this is a very different upload from what I normally upload. And what's really special about this is that we're going to be discussing a mouse that is a reduction here. Now on the left, I have the lighter mouse, which is a G303. On the right is also a G303, but the original mouse that we have. Now what's very interesting is who made this mouse, which is you guys in the community. A member, his name is the Steez, actually sent me this mouse and modded this mouse for me with a lighter weight. So the original weight of the G303 is approximately, I'll show it on screen, I believe 70 grams. And this one on screen is around 59. Now that's a little heavier now that I've changed the mice feet. You'll notice that I went back to just the full surface here. And there's a reason why I did that. And we'll explain that later in the video why I'm making this. I think this is going to be a helpful video for you to find your own tips as well as how you can find what works for your setup. That's really the premise of this video. That when you're looking for these things, you're looking for a middle ground and what works best for you. It's not necessarily using other settings, other mice that work best for other people, because I have found a style and stuff that works specifically for me that makes me feel comfortable that I can game for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. Now, in the description, in a prior video, I had modded a mouse before and I purchased one, but they stopped making mods and I didn't have a link going forward. Now, that one I found on eBay. This one is from, like I said, a community member. When you guys have amazing talents, and he didn't ask me to make this video. I suggested, I thought that maybe you guys in the community could benefit from this immensely as well. And well, here it is. So in the link down below, you'll have the Discord you can join to mod, not just necessarily this mouse, I mean any mouse that you really prefer, and just have a discussion about it and change like the battery to make it a lighter mouse, to change, remove things. And we'll talk about what has changed. You're probably like, what actually changed the mouse? We're going to get into that in just a hot minute, but that's all in the description down below. Wasn't paid, wasn't told to do that. I think it's cool when you guys just have these amazing skill sets, and I just want to share them. I think that's what makes our community different here on YouTube and really special. Now let's get into why I wanted this weight reduction. Well, the G303, I love the shape. You'll notice it's such an odd shape because it's a little thicker on the back, right? AO, a little thicker, but it's still a heavy mouse. But I love it because of my unique grip style that I have. It just works because you see the way my pinky kind of indexes over on this corner here. Now, I am also a big fan of the G Pro, which is also now the Superlight 2. I mean, I have been using the G Pro for a really, really long time as it evolved into the Superlight and Superlight 2. I love the shape, and I put some stuff on there because I did some experimenting. And of course, I did enjoy the Asus Harpy. I did enjoy this mouse as well. Now, that's something we can discuss. And then I tried out other mice, like, the Zowie, and I even tried changing the mice feet. And I'll talk about some of those tips and what my thoughts are in dots versus just like the overall spectrum here. Now, what's interesting is that each of these mice are a little different. And keep in mind, I've tried Final Mouse, I've tried a lot of different mice as well. But as you find a sensitivity, there's a lot of different variables that you can change. You can change your mouse pad, and the one here you're looking at a Sky pad. I owned a lot of Artisan, or you could call them Artesian pads, the Hind, the FX0. I've used the GSRs. I've used a lot of mouse pads. I have like probably maybe 30 mouse pads in my closet. It's insane. I have so many of them. But I always gravitate towards the consistency of the Sky pad just because the surface doesn't degrade, so I really enjoy that and I really like that. But that's my mouse pad. Now my grip style, like we discussed, is very unique in how I hold the mouse because I put my pointer finger and middle finger over the click here. Now the reason why I did that is before I also had a weird mouse grip where I would hold it like this as well. Now the beauty of this is that this can help you move over so you can scroll wheel whenever you're using, let's say, movement in Apex Legends or whenever you're trying to tap strafe, it's just accessible. But also my pointer finger was always slower than my middle finger in terms of just hitting the target, So I kind of smacked all that stuff away on my screen. And so it does make a big difference in terms of feel and grip, but then I needed something that really forced my pinky in. I had this weird issue with a lot of mice where my pinky kind of indexes out, and so having a curve, even like the Zowie mouse here, does help, because if it doesn't have that, then sometimes essentially my pinky would hyperextend out as if I was like holding some sort of, I don't know, oh, I'm fancy, I'm gonna hold like a little T or something. I don't know what my pinky was doing. It was extremely strange and it's just a bad habit. And so I needed to engage my pinky to create a sense of stability whenever I was trying to aim. And the G303 was always nice, but the problem is that it was too heavy. Now, whenever I was using, let's say, the Asus mouse, I really enjoyed this and I did a review on it, is that it also helps with the curve and holding there because it's long, right? And so it kind of, you see how it naturally also has that curve. Now, when we talk about the Superlight, I love the weight of this. I love the shape of it. And I love the arc. But again, whenever I had a normal superlight or G Pro, and this is like the basis of like every mouse I've ever used, that's when my pinky was sometimes like hover and overextend, and then I just wasn't engaging it. I had to remind myself. And so, I mean, essentially maybe the Superlight 2 was always going to be my better mouse because I've used it for so long. But then Logitech released a G303, which I found an amazing mouse. And I love the shape, and the Shroud Edition is just that good, in my opinion, but it was just too heavy, and that extra weight does make a difference. Now, if you go too light, then the SkyPad doesn't necessarily work anymore, which is why when I was using certain mice, it didn't feel right, and I was looking for something with a lot of surface contact to also help in terms of slowing down the sense in the SkyPad. I noticed whenever I used the dots here that it was almost too fast, right? Now, it comes all down to friction and then stopping power, and if you're able to stop the mouse efficiently or if you're not. So if the mouse is heavier and then you're moving, sometimes it can be harder because you're going to have to engage more of different parts of your arm to stop it. Now you can fabricate this by using a different mouse pad such as cloth or anything like that, right? So when you're looking for a setup, and why I decided to go with this mod, I was looking for a balance. The surface contact I really liked. I love the shape because it engages my pinky. I like Logitech mice. I enjoy the balance of their sensors and everything. I really, whenever I was trying to fabricate it by putting this stuff on, you'll see I have the Final Mouse stuff on here. And I was trying to do an experiment to see, like, what if I can get this mouse a little closer to the edge of that in any way, shape, or form? And I kind of did. You know, I kind of succeeded in that regard. I might need to, like, chop this up a little bit. But, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I was like, you know what? Why don't we mod this? Because then it is technically a little lighter than the Superlight 2. And this is still Logitech. I mean, Logitech, in my opinion, just makes great products. I really enjoyed it. It's what I always use. I mean, I got a link down in the description down below. I think I've used the products for God knows how long, okay? And I use a lot of different mice. It's just my personal preference. And listen, I'm going to give credit where it's due on other mice too. I mean, I used this for a while, did a review on it. I think they're good. But the premise here, and what you're looking for, if you're looking for that slight tweak on something that you love, then modding is not a bad option to go with when you're looking at weight reduction. So when we look at the weight reduction, maybe people are going to get mad at me in this video, but I really just I love just doing kind of authentic videos and just kind of giving it to you the way it is. When you look at this, you'll see like little compartments and stuff that were made. Oop, kind of dropped out there. This adds more weight, and where it could create balance if it is removed properly, just as the Estes did. He did a fantastic job. It is unnecessary, and then it alleviated that pressure on the back of the mouse there. There are some buttons that are just aesthetic, like this one, and also other compartments in the mouse that may not be necessary, but are necessary when this compartment exists. But if this is removed, like this doesn't exist on this one, it's just there for aesthetic purposes, and so is this, the button up top. You don't have to press it. But those are things that I thought that he did fantastic. This is probably the most well-constructed mod that I have personally used, because it's always hard to find somebody who can mod mice effectively and do it well, because it is such a sensitive thing. The sensor can get off balance, whatever you're putting in there, putting a new battery, but it's very stable. It feels just like the G303 in terms of there's no rattling, there's nothing. It just feels like a lighter G303. And so I was really impressed by this, and it just blew me away. And maybe somebody else in the community who's watching this could benefit from it. And if not, I mean, this is just a unique perspective on why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, because I essentially was trying to merge a ton of different mice in terms of weight, in terms of what I have been using, and then trying to slam them into one ideal picture. Now you can change these variables as well. Let's say I wanted to use the Superlight 2 with, let's say, a cloth pad or a different surface, then sure, then that can also work. But it's essentially finding the best combination that works for you. And those are the reasons why it has worked best for me, especially now that I'm using mouse acceleration again. And I thought it was really neat that he put, scratched out and put DAZ on it. He put DAZ over this too, but because I sweat like crazy, and you can tell that it's a little, my mouse, I put a lot of time into them. I waited before I made this to make sure, hey, is this a sturdy mouse? And it really is. It's pretty sturdy. It's great. I love everything about it. It's my new driver. I still will use the Superlight 2. This is pretty much what I go to. These two mice right here, that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'm going to go back to the Asus mouse now that I have the lower reduction weight of this. I don't know if I'll go back to the old Superlight. I tried the Zowie to make it work. I think the fact that it didn't come with Teflon right off the rip really bothered me. I do think that the dots are faster, like I said, because there's less surface contact, but overall, I enjoy a mouse with a lot of surface tension here, or surface contact, and not tension. You can call it tension, whatever you want to call it, but that's where we're kind of at. Link in the down description. Steve's amazing work, man. He also gave me a cable right here that I really like. That's branded with my colors. That was really cool. And that's my setup. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I appreciate you guys for watching. A little different. I'm also going to be covering top 5 aim-lap scenarios in a video probably Friday. Tomorrow we're going to do the spectating series, and then we might do 2 streams on Saturday. So there's going to be a lot of content specifically this week. I wanted to get a lot of content out before the holidays. I'm also proud of Friday's upload because it's going to be, we have our own course in aim-lab. So little Easter egg there. It's already live right now. But I also want to make it, it's going to be, I'm going to be honest, guys, it's going to be a little bit of an ad, but I'm just really excited. So I'm going to give you guys my best scenarios that I practice with, showcase the course a little bit. You guys don't have to buy it, but I'm just really proud of something that we've really put together. I've never done anything like that before, so won't keep this video any longer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And everything is in the description. Go shout out to Steve's for such amazing work. I love you guys in the community for doing stuff like this. It makes me want to keep doing YouTube always that much more, making more content. That's why I'm posting so much content this week. I only post 2 videos a week. You're going to get like 4 uploads this week. And you're still getting the normal Apex content and an extra stream. So guys, thank you again. See you guys on the next video. Bye, everybody.